what are the jobs to be done by food? Now, many years ago, I think in high school, as all of you have read, that food is supposed to provide us with nutrition. All our nutrients should come from food. Yes, in the ideal world, we would get all our nutrients from only food, but that does not happen easily because of various reasons. One is our requirement has gone up because of the life we lead. Then the food that we eat don't contain as much nutrients as they used to do years ago because of commercial food preparation and all those things, commercially growing vegetables. And sometimes some of these vegetables contain higher carbohydrate because more carbohydrate containing, these are the different ways of modifying food. They weigh more. So because they weigh more, there are more carbohydrate in some of these vegetables than they were before. But they have become depleted in things like, a whole bunch of other nutrients. So one major purpose for food is, of course, to provide us with nutrients. Now, I have talked about essential nutrients before. So essential nutrients are nutrients that our bodies don't have the ability to make. Some fatty acids, like omega-3 fatty acids, are essential fatty acids. That means our bodies cannot make them. So we have to get them from a combination of food and supplements. When I talk about therapeutic supplements, I'll talk more about omega-3 fatty acids and how you can, figure out how much you need. There are some other nutrients called amino acids. So amino acids make proteins. There are some amino acids which are essential amino acids, which means we have to get them from primarily food. And some people will also need supplementation, particularly people who are vegans or vegetarians. It is difficult to get all the amino acids that are necessary from only plant-based food without getting a large dose of carbohydrates. Now, there are no essential carbohydrates. That means there are no essential starchy foods. Our bodies have the ability to make carbohydrates. So this is very important to remember. Am I getting my essential nutrients because our bodies don't have the ability to make them? And I won't go in today, in the interest of time, I won't go what happens when you don't get your essential nutrients. Are you going to so some of the problems are all this chronic health challenges that we have. The next job to be done with food is it should keep our blood glucose stable and at an optimal range. So not having diabetes is not enough, particularly when it comes to brain health and heart health, and also, of course, kidney health. So if you are told by your doctor that your blood glucose levels are climbing and you need to keep an eye on them, that is actually a time for you to start taking action. I would say you need to start taking action even before that. So you don't obviously want to develop diabetes. You don't even want to develop pre-diabetes, but it is never too late to do something about it. So keeping blood glucose levels in an optimal range is extremely important. So the optimal range, depending on where in the world you are, I have put in both the ranges. The ones we use in Canada, we use millimoles per liter, and others in US and other countries, we use milligram per deciliter. You can see that this range is very tight. The other thing that food has to help us to do is maintain muscle mass. And maybe I will do a separate webinar on how we can maintain muscle mass, but eating adequate protein is very important to maintain muscle mass. Of course, other things are low inflammation levels and also weight-bearing exercise. So strength training, weight training, particularly women, in the menopausal transition end up losing a lot of muscle mass. Certain ethnicities like South Asians, I'm originally from India, we have a very different quality of muscle. It's not so easy to gain muscle mass. And why muscle mass? Because muscle is a glucose sink. So remember the three foundations of brain health: blood pressure, blood glucose, and inflammation. All of them are important for muscle in relation to muscle. So glucose sink is muscle mass. Guard your muscle mass very carefully. And muscle loss with age, sarcopenia, is a very common problem And continuous sitting is one of the things that contributes to it. Keeping chronic inflammation away, and what is the another thing that food has to do for us is keep our gut microbes happy. So one of the biggest impact on the gut microbiome, and today I'm not talking about it, I won't have time, uh, is food. The other one is medications, then environmental toxins, mode of delivery, the whole lot of things.